We did it, guys. SOMMERFELD files have been released, but are we happy with this? Hey guys, Ivan here, and we got a couple of very interesting things in this video. I'm a little bit late at the party on this one because Mr. Olympia posted photos of the classic physique weigh-ins last night at around 3 a.m. I went to sleep already, so I wasn't able to make a video ASAP, but here we are. Let's talk about this now. So the photos are uploaded. I don't know why they hid it away from us, why this wasn't on the live stream. That was supposed to be the whole point of that live stream. Why else would we watch the live stream of the weigh-ins if we can't see the actual weigh-ins? Did they actually plan on not showing it to us ever? But they took the photos just in case if we are outraged, and we were, and then they decided to actually upload these photos to release the SOMMERFELD files, and here we can see what exactly happened. So as you can see right here, it seems like they finally did a decent job measuring these guys, but as you can see right there, the top comment says still got an extra inch there. It's still not flat to his head. What do you guys think about this? So not only that Mike did not make the 5'10" height, which is ridiculous, he barely even made the 5'8", which is also not realistic, not really. He's not 5'8", he's definitely below that. I mean, he admitted in different videos and posts that he's actually only 170, which is like 5'7". There are also comparisons that show that he's actually 168 or 5'6" or so, but somehow here he actually got that height of 5'8". Was he really properly measured here? I would say no, to be honest, guys. I think he was actually measured at least 1 centimeter more than he actually is. But if they actually measured him properly, he would not make the weight. He went down, he made the weight for 5'8" instead of 5'9", which was his height last year at the Mr. Olympia and at the Arnold Classic. So he knew that was not gonna happen again, because who the hell knows how was he actually measured 5'9" last year. I mean, yeah, there are photos and videos, so they actually measured a lot of his hair, a lot. This year, not as much, but a little bit still. So if they pressed his hair all the way down, he would not make the weight. He would have to go down to 197, which would be completely impossible, and he would be out of the Mr. Olympia. And I'm guessing that's why they hid this away from us, because I'm sure in the video at first they pressed it all the way and they realized that he's not making the weight, and then they lifted it up a little bit, just enough for him to actually make this weight, and this is what they posted. If you compare him to the others, for example, Ramon Dino here, they pressed it all the way down. Jose Manuel, same story. Breon Ainsley had a huge afro and it was really tall, but they were like, no, it doesn't matter, we are pressing this thing all the way down. Now, in case one of these top guys did not make the weight by doing that, they would probably lift it up a little bit. They did not have to do this for most of the guys, and that's why they hit the live stream, so they can change this if needed. And it was needed for Mike SOMMERFELD. I mean, just look at the other guys. It's definitely a noticeable difference. They pressed everybody else all the way down except for Mike. So this year, his weight difference is not gonna be as ludicrous, as insane as it was last year. They were measuring him at freaking 5'9", which is nowhere near his actual height. His actual height is actually 5'6", but at least here we got 1 inch down, so it's gonna be a little bit more fair, but not really, not completely. I don't know how much will this weight change affect his look. Will he be able to look his best? But I don't think it's much. I think it's probably going to be still enough for him to look the biggest, bigger than everybody else, and still win the Mr. Olympia. But yeah, at least we got 1 inch off. However, he plans on being 5'9" next year. I mean, what the hell does that even mean? Like, he plans on getting taller. You don't grow taller at that age. So you can only find a new way to cheat, and that's all you can do. So that's his plan, at least. We'll see if he'll succeed. If they hide these weigh-ins again, then yeah, anything is possible. But if they actually decide to be transparent towards the fans and the other athletes, they will show us what they're doing. And Mike Sommerfeld is probably going to have to go down to 197, which I think is the most realistic, the top weight he can actually weigh in. I don't think this is realistic, but yeah, we got 1 inch off. And I'd still call this success. Guys, we all did it. All the media outlets, all of you guys, we did this, and it's definitely more fair now towards the other classic physique athletes. Not completely, but it's a progress, for sure, for this year. I wanted to show you this as well, guys. Rough Diesel's story. He put on this filter and he's just bald there and says, ready for the check-ins. He's definitely trolling Mike Sommerfeld. And yeah, I'm sure all these guys have a lot of things to say. Everybody, Rough Diesel, Logan Franklin, Jose Manuel, Ramon Dino, I'm sure they're all furious because they actually hid this away from us, and because the photos are showing clearly that Mike still got an extra inch, but they're not gonna say anything. They can't say anything. They can't go against the Mr. Olympia and the IFBB because they want to win that battle. They're just gonna play slower, so they can't say anything. And media outlets like Nick Strength and Power are too mainstream. Nick won't go against Mr. Olympia and the IFBB. Smaller channels like mine, who are not really implicated with these guys, can actually say their opinion, their honest opinion. So I'm here for the athletes. I'm saying what they want to hear. I'm sure most of them are watching this video and are happy that somebody is calling this guy out. I'm sure they were very happy about me making so many videos about Mike all this time. I'm sure it helped. At least a little bit. Things are fixed at least a little, not completely, but it's a progress, guys. It's a progress. Alright, now we got a lot of other very interesting stuff. So, for example, Men's Physique last night at a press conference, they made a show out of the press conference. They were definitely the most interesting group. In case you missed what happened, I already mentioned it in my previous video, but I'm gonna play a little part of it for you guys right here so you can see. Basically, Ali Bilal right here called out all of the other guys, and he was insulting them, basically calling them old, saying they all lost their hair and that kind of stuff, that they are old, they're done, and they almost got into a fight, basically, especially Ali and Brandon Hendrickson. I'm gonna play this part for you guys, and then I'm gonna give you a little bit of an explanation for why this actually happened.
When Ryan was competing, I was still in Afghanistan, you know. When these guys were winning titles, I was a kid. And you can see, you know, they lost their hair in the meantime, and, you know, they got old, all of them. I'm just a new kid, man. I just
like this. I'll show you how to be a humble champion.
All right. Well, hang on a second.
Don't touch me.
Hang on.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
I gotta get Aaron involved in this one. Hang on. You
don't
said
touch
you
me, okay? Respect that.
No touching.
All right, that was pretty funny. And here we actually have an explanation from Brandon Hendrickson why this whole thing happened. So he says, since nobody knows what happened, and I may look petty here, but there's actual context to my response, and it's sad I have to explain it, but when you are in my ex's DMs, asking her to see her whenever she comes to Vegas, all while you're a married man, you made it personal with me. It ain't even about my ex, I'm over that, super over that, but this is war, and we don't involve women or children, and you deliberately try to take a personal shot at me. So here's your context now, I'll respond more on stage Saturday. Okay, why aren't open and classy guys like this? It'll definitely make things more interesting, but this is probably too much, guys, way too much drama. I mean, Ali texted Brandon's ex, and it's not his current girlfriend, it's just his ex. So what does it matter? These guys are not friends. I mean, it matters if Ali is married, but that's his problem, that's not Brandon's problem. But I mean, I don't want to get involved into this. This is definitely way too much drama, way beyond anything that I expected is going to happen on the press conference at Mr. Olympia. But you guys tell me whatever you think down below in the comment section. Alright, the next thing we got is something also very interesting from Urs Kalecinski at 1 day out of the Mr. Olympia and his open debut. And here is what Urs looks like right now. He definitely carved up, nice, and he's definitely drier now. And, you know, he has a really nice shape for sure. really good aesthetics, especially in the side shots and I would say in the front shots, but from the back, there's a problem for sure. If you look at his back very closely, you will see that this is definitely not a conditioned back. And it's not a big back either, but you would hope that if it's not big, it's gonna be shredded, and he is shredded. His physique is shredded everywhere else. His glutes are inside out basically, his quads are shredded in details, in cuts and feathers, his chest is detailed, his abs are looking great, his waist is small, he's in really good condition in every single body part but his back. Now, I'm also thinking he might be still a little bit smaller than he was at Italy and at Germany. I don't know, I'm not sure about Germany, but I think he was blasting full at Italy and definitely not as conditioned as he was in Germany, but I think that was a more competitive look for a stage like this. So they're definitely not going for crazy fullness. They're gonna try and repeat the look from the Germany, and I think they will do that. Now, like I said, everything is good, but the back, it's not big enough, and if you pay close attention to it, you will see that it's not very conditioned. Right? Like, the job is not done in the back department. And this is a trade-off. You know, Stefan is looking at him and he's thinking, if we get leaner than this, he will lose way too much fullness in the other body parts, and he's already conditioned enough in every single body part aside from the back. So if they go for crazy conditioning in the back, he's gonna lose the arms, the legs, the shoulders, the chest, and it's simply not worth it. He's gonna lose way too much size and fullness just to be more conditioned in the back. So it's definitely a trade-off and it's worth it. And this guy is not fighting to win the show. He's fighting for a top 10 spot. So I think this is all great. Now here's a very, very interesting part of this video. So you guys know that Urs' strongest point is definitely his legs. And he's potentially a top 10 Olympian. And here he is, standing next to freaking Keone Pearson, who is obviously much shorter than Urs. Urs is on a taller side for an open bodybuilder, for sure. And even next to Urs, Keone's legs are looking bigger. Look at the hamstrings, man. And the glutes. And the conditioning as well. But especially the quads. The roundness in the quads. The details as well. Look at the freaking feathers. And now we come to the craziest part, his freaking hamstrings, especially from behind. Look at the size of those freaking hamstrings, man. And the conditioning as well. Look at this. Crazy, crazy. This tells me one thing, man, especially now, this year, that Keone is actually 10 pounds heavier. He would be in the top 5 in the open for sure. And next year, there's no chance we'll see Keone in the freaking 212. I don't think that's a possibility. I mean, he already barely made it. I mean, he didn't make the weight. He actually just landed perfectly on the dot. But next year, he's going to make more progress. And I don't think he's going to cut weight to make the 212. Maybe he will for another year, but he definitely shouldn't do it, because with this look right here, he can definitely be one of the top guys in the Open Olympia. And next year, with some more progress, he can freaking win it. Man, he can definitely win the whole thing. I mean, it's extremely difficult to win the Mr. Olympia. You can never bet on it, but he has a legit chance. Look at his freaking legs right here, man. The hamstrings, what the hell? The only guy in the open, actually there are 2 guys in the open who have hamstrings like this, and that's only Nick and Samson. Hadi does not have this. Derek does not have this. Martin is okay. Andrew Jack doesn't have this. Bakrus Tabani doesn't have this. If Keone competed this year, I would have him between 3rd and 5th spot, somewhere around there. But unfortunately, that's not happening. He's doing the 212 today, later today. I'll make a video about it, guys, so stay tuned. Subscribe to this channel to watch the best coverage of the Mr. Olympia right here. Alright, the next thing we got is a little bit of something from GoodVito, and there is also a new photo from earlier today, but I don't know if I'm allowed to actually post that photo because he's basically naked. He just put an emoji over his genitals, so I think that could be a problem for YouTube, so I'm not even gonna show it, but right here you can see how good this guy looks, and in the other photo he looks a lot softer, and you might think that he's one of those guys that look better without the tan. I don't think that's it, because he took that photo right after he put a tan on, and until the pro tan dries out, you're gonna look a little bit, you know, watery, I would say. So he definitely looks drier here, and yeah, man, he looks great. He looks phenomenal. But the thing with GoodVito is, I think he's gonna play slower than he's supposed to because of his posing. I still have him pretty high in my prediction for his first Mr. Olympia. I think he's going to do really well, but I don't think he's going to max his physique out because his posing is not really what it needs to be. He has a couple of killer shots, like for example this one. His front double is insane. It's looking great. He's shredded, he's dry, he's detailed, he has crazy proportions, crazy conditioning as well, a lot of muscle. So we'll see what he's actually going to look like next to the other guys on stage, but this is looking very promising. Now, this right here is something I'm really curious about. Is there a possibility of Andrew Jacked showing up and just destroying the lineup? Actually showing up super peeled and just wiping the floor with everybody else. And we all know he has that potential if he ever brought the conditioning. And right here in this photo, for example, and many others as well, his face looks pretty dry. I would say, if I'm remembering this correctly, he looks like he's in better shape than usual. Now, of course, there are other issues as well, like his side poses, the thickness of his body in the side poses, and the development of his hamstrings, for example. But, you know, if he is in really good condition, with his shape, with his structure, he's definitely going to be a top threat. And based on his face, it seems like he's going to be on. He's going to be on. Is he going to be the most conditioned he ever was? I can't tell that based on these photos, but I don't think he's going to be off. He does not look like he's going to be off with conditioning, and that's definitely something to consider if you talk about the top 5 predictions. If he's actually in really good shape, I think I would have him in my 5th, right after Nick, Derek, Samson, and Hadi. I think a really good Andrew Jacked, a really well-peaked Andrew Jacked beats at least Martin Fitzwater, if not Bekru Stabani as well. But that's a huge if. We still don't know. We can't really tell too much based on his face, but he looks like he can be pretty good this year. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below. Oh, and yeah, we also got a new physique update from Regan Grimes, and man, it seems like Regan is bringing it this year. And I had him out of my top 10, and he was already a top 10 Olympian, so I may have made a mistake with this one. But I mean, it's a very competitive lineup. I had him above Urs Posedown, for example, but I'm looking at this right now and man, this is looking very good from the front. And you can be sure that he's going to destroy somebody like Urs Posedown from the back. So yeah, I may have made a mistake with Regan here because it seems like he's bringing really good condition and he looks big as well. Big and full. So this one can be a surprise for sure. You guys tell me down below in the comment section whatever your opinion is about whichever part of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more bodybuilding content like this, subscribe to the channel and the best coverage of the Mr. Olympia this weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon. All the best and bye-bye.